Okay, let's check Twitter. Oh, Get Flank's got a new video. Perspective issue. I've been having trouble with that this season. Maybe we'll check it out.
Considered to be a pretty severe perspective issue in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be
Yeah, that seems pretty fair. Oh, coreRoss has got a video out as well. Busting Get Flanked's video. What?
Today we have a Mythbusters for Rainbow that is a little bit different. This is actually a reply to a video by Get Flanked on the perspective issue. And it's actually to explain that there is currently not an issue with perspective.
coreRoss is like,
wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, so apparently it's all kicking off on Twitter. Let's have a look at that. Oh, snap. It is all kicking off in here. Okay, so we've got Get Flanked and we've got coreRoss. Hang on a minute. Not a single one of them has called the other one a...
I'm wearing fatty.
Wankers. Fucking embarrassing. Waste of our time. Fucking waste of our time.
Okay, so joking aside, here's the deal. Obviously, Get Flanked posted a video about the perspective issue, and coreRoss has responded saying that there isn't an issue. Both of these guys are kind of right. They are both right, and they are both wrong, I guess. It's all down to the wording. You know, there's a lot of people that are flaming each other on Twitter, on YouTube. People are calling out Get Flanked. People are saying coreRoss is wrong. The reality is they're both right and they're both wrong. It is as simple as that. You want to talk about this? Let's talk about this. Let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Now, Get Flanked is saying that this isn't right. You know, what is currently in the game is not good. It doesn't work. And I'll be honest, I kind of agree with him. And the reason I agree with him is because the game has been out for so long. Everyone gets used to the way things work and the way that it currently is. And then a change like this can really, really throw things off massively. What coreRoss is saying is that the wording that the Flanked used is kind of wrong. It's not a perspective issue. This is how it is in real life. And whilst I do agree with him massively, I will also disagree with that because the real life aspects of Siege, there's not a lot that's real life anymore. We're making, or the devs are making, a competitive shooter. It's not really, you know, I mean, some of you may have seen my comment to Rogue 9 yesterday. We have invisible gadgets. We have people that can disappear on cameras. We have all sorts of weird and wonderful things. We've had raptor legs, for Christ's sake. They're aliens. Definitely aliens. But there's loads of things in the game which are moving further and further away from realism and closer to a competitive shooter, which they're trying to build. And with that in mind, does this camera angle work? Is it realistic? Yes, the camera is in the middle of the head. So in that degree, it kind of does work. But I think the biggest issue is we are so used to being able to hold pixel angles and stuff from, you know, quite close to things. But a pixel peak on a shield or something like that, for the longest time we've been able to do it, and now we can't. It doesn't really work like that. You know, if you lie down close to something, as you will see in this shot here, you are very, very clear to the defender. The defender can see you clear as day, yet the defender can't be seen. And, you know, knowing all about this is the biggest battle, which coreRoss has done his best to try and explain. But the reality for all of this is it kind of comes down to the wording that was used, and it's a very, very difficult thing, because when you're putting a YouTube video together, I'm sure people will pick apart what I'm saying here. You try your best to explain something as a creator, to explain how you believe something to be. And I have been getting so frustrated for the longest time with the perspective changes. Not so much issues, the perspective changes that have been brought along since Operation Burnt Horizon. With the changing of the camera positioning, you get so used to where things are and how you can look around corners that you've been playing for the past 3 years, and suddenly you can't do that same movement because the camera has moved and your head is sticking out from cover. Now, what Flank says is exactly right, in the sense of this is a really frustrating mechanic to go up against or to play against, because as he came up to the corner, although he was there close, he stopped to look through that doorway and he had no way of knowing that someone else would be further into that room. It's just not possible to know that there's someone there. So by stopping there to look through that doorway and to remain as much in cover as possible, he couldn't peek any further back because the wall was sealed. That instantly put that attacker, Zofia, at more of an advantage than him. And that is definitely one of the most frustrating things to have to contend with just lately. But nevertheless, the only thing I really wanted to say with this video is, you know, stop flaming the guys. They're both right and they're both wrong. Being negative and being, you know, slagging people off in comments doesn't actually achieve anything. But both of these guys are taking time to, you know, to try and research these mechanics for other people, to get opinions and to share opinions and have discussions through the medium of their videos. So let's do that. Let's have discussions. Let's not just resort to slagging people off and to arguing and just genuinely being little So as you're going to see from these clips that I've done in the background, I've tried a few different things. Both of these creators have tried to showcase this the best they can, and I'm going to try and do exactly the same. Now, Ross was showing it with a picture. Get Flank was showing, obviously, the footage and then recreating said footage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same and elaborate on that. Now, the difficulty with this is obviously if you are up close to the cover, as Flanked was in that particular shot, Zofia is going to have more of an advantage over him because of the fact that she's further away from that corner. Now, we know that to be true. We know that that is how this game mechanic works. However, what Ross said about moving further back, the difficulty with this is that in Siege, you are usually in quite close quarters. It's very rare that you're going to have such an extreme distance that the line or the cone of vision that he has drawn on his graphics are actually going to come into play to a massive extent. As you'll see here, even as Doc, I move all the way back into this room after breaching it open, and still the line of sight between both of them isn't long enough, and Zofia is still getting that advantage. Now, I've got to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, this mechanic I really do find frustrating. I've never had a massive issue with lean spam, unless it was on a shield. The shield operators were the most frustrating thing in the world when they were ADSing and wobbling all over the show, and it was just stupid. The movement of the camera, again, there's pros and cons to it, and there's always going to be. Personally, for me, I prefer the old system, and I never had a massive issue with it, as I say. And after lots and lots of testing of this in my own time and messing around with it and trying to figure out the best way to peek certain corners, I have genuinely spent hours on custom maps because this season, I really, really struggled at the beginning, and I was dying to people. I couldn't fathom it. I couldn't understand how they were getting me. And, you know, if you were in my Twitch streams, you will have seen me discussing it with the people in the chat. I was saying, you know, this is ridiculous. I've tried peeking close. I've tried peeking further away, and I just don't seem to be able to see people, yet they can see me. Well, it's taken me an entire season. I mean, credit, I don't get to play anywhere near as much as the pros and some of the other creators that do this full time, but it has been a frustrating season, and it's taken me a long time to figure out that, yes, you do need to peek from further away, but you will still never get 100% fairness in this game, where, you know, one person will 9 times out of 10 have a better line of sight on you than you can of them, and vice versa. The amount of times that I've managed to kill people and they've said to me, how can you even see me? That's ridiculous. I'm not even on your screen yet. Well, actually, you were. Is this good for a competitive game? No, I don't really think it is, but is it something that the devs are no doubt going to be working on to improve? Yeah, I'm 100% sure they will continually try and improve on this and work on this. The devs love this game. The amount of effort they put into it, they do really, really love it. And having spoken to loads of guys in Montreal about, you know, ping and the way that works, I'm sure that they're looking at all sorts of different ways to resolve every little minor detail in the game. It's just a matter of time. You know, the team isn't massive, and they do have a limited amount of time to do all this kind of stuff. Nevertheless, though, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Let's try and keep it civil. Let's try and keep it as civil as we can. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. It is all a little bit of fun. You know, please don't think that I'm hating on either of these guys. I love both Flanked and Ross. I think they're phenomenal creators. I really do. And I've got a lot of respect and admiration for them both. So, you know, let's keep it civil. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the dislike button and let me know why down in the comments below. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.